Okay, I'd like to thank the grace of heaven, virtues of masters, the mercy of our grand predecessors, all transmitters, and everyone here for giving me this opportunity to learn to speak in today's class on how to be a good introducer and guarantor. Okay, so as Johnny had mentioned, for those of us that doesn't know what an introducer is the person that brought us into this temple. Okay, so remember the Tao doesn't advertise. It's not open to the public. It is introduced to us by someone that is already into the Tao. Okay? So as an introducer, we have to take a vow in front of the altar to say, this person is a good person. Okay? And they are qualified to receive this Tao. And then the guarantor is the person that also took a vow with the introducer saying that this Tao is the true way back to God and we are not leading you astray. Okay. So that is what an introducer and guarantor is. If we don't remember who our introducer and guarantor is, it is written on that Tao receiving card that we get when we receive the Tao. So if you look, it will be listed who your introducer and who your guarantor is. Sometimes the name may be in Chinese. You can ask who that person is. Always remember, we have to be eternally grateful. Eternally, not just for that one day. Eternally grateful for our introducer and guarantor. Without them, we cannot receive this Tao. Okay. So a doctor will heal our physical body, but an introducer and guarantor will save our Buddha nature or soul. Okay, so always be grateful to them. Now, before we invite people to receive the Tao, okay, there are certain things that we can prepare ourselves so that we understand Tao more. So with that knowledge, we can talk to the people that we are bringing in. So this way, we get better results. Okay. First of all, there are Tao books. If you notice in the entrance over there in the small temple, there is bookcases of Tao books. Some are in English, some are in Chinese. We can take them home freely, the ones in there, not the ones in here. The ones in here are reference books. Okay, we cannot take it out of the temple. We can read it in the temple and then put it back on the shelf. But those over there, you are free to take it home and read it. Okay. However, books should not be read in the bathroom or in the bedroom, and it should definitely not be thrown away in the garbage because that will be a bad sin. So we also have holy revelations. There are many revelations in the temple. Some are personal per each individual people. Some are through Dharma classes. Okay, we can use those to encourage people to receive the Tao.
We also call them scriptures.
Oh yeah. Well, then we also have scriptures from the Dharma classes. Then we have the CD or the tapes, okay, that we can also learn from, such as the Buddha Nature CDs. There are also videotapes, okay, and DVDs that we can learn from, and also photographs and photos of saints and Buddhas and revelations from the Dharma classes. We should understand the background of the people who are going to be receiving the Tao. We should know the people that we are bringing, such as if they have a religious background, what they do for a living. Okay, these are all important facts to gather. These people are those people that are involved in a career that can harm sentient beings, such as people that work as a butcher, people that work in slaughterhouses, people that work in dealing with weapons, okay, people that are working as exterminators or pesticides, These are all, or drug dealers, okay? These are careers that will harm sentient beings. So people that do deal in these careers, we should ask them to change their careers first before they can receive the Tao. We should also let the seniors know their background when we bring them in, so they know how to approach them. Give them as much detail as possible. Okay? Because, for example, one time during a class, somebody brought like 3 or 4 people in and asked me to motivate them. So I just assume these people have not received the Tao. After talking to them for half an hour, okay, they tell me, I already received the Tao. What does that make me look like? I'm such a stupid jerk that doesn't know what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? So always gather as much information and give to the speaker that you want to motivate, okay? Because number one, they have a better knowledge of who these people are, and if they already received the Tao, we will use different techniques or different ways to motivate them. Okay, we wouldn't be talking to them like the Tao is very foreign to them. Okay. Make use of the influence of the Tao seniors to help people further understand Tao. So we arrange in advance with the Tao seniors. If we are going to bring someone on a Sunday, of course there's going to be Tao seniors here every Sunday. Okay. However, if we're going to arrange on a different day, on a day where there's no classes, we should let the Tao seniors know ASAP, because everybody has their own personal schedule. So they too can set aside their personal affairs to come in to help to motivate these people to receive the Tao. Okay? Always arrange in advance. Don't just call them last minute. Can you be in the temple in half an hour? Okay, everybody has their own life to live. Always arrange in advance. Okay, but of course, at the same time, the schedule should be based on the person that is intended to receive the Tao, because we try to cater to the person rather than to the seniors. All right? If one senior cannot make it, we can always call another senior to come in. But we try to arrange based on the person that is coming in to receive the Tao. Number 4, appoint the most suitable time and place to meet. This is mostly based on the Tao receiver's convenience. If meeting in the temple is not convenient, we can arrange to meet in their home if they allow us to, although some people don't let strangers come to their home, or we can meet in our home, or we can meet in a coffee shop. Whatever is convenient, that is in the middle path between the Tao receiver and the seniors that's going to be talking to them. Okay. Number 5, make sure that our appearance is neat and tidy. The impression we make to others are very critical. We represent the Tao. Our appearance, our words, our manners, our etiquette, and our actions are very important to those that are potential Tao receivers. How we come across to others will be judged, and decisions whether they receive the Tao or not will also be based on this. Okay, so if we sound like truck drivers, talking in a loud, offensive tone of voice, the things we say is not in accordance to the Tao, then that person will hesitate in receiving this Tao. However, okay, if our first impression is very impressive to them, then even though they don't receive the Tao, they will say, okay, let me think about it, but what is in their mindset is how we appear to them. So chances of them coming back are higher. Okay, so that's the difference. During the process of inviting people to receive Tao, okay, we make Tao understandable to people. This is the time we should use the simplest vocabularies to explain what the Tao is. Don't use big vocabularies. Not everybody understands big words. The purpose of us talking to the people is so they can grasp it and understand it. Okay, so because we are bringing this topic that's totally foreign to the person listening, and our main goal is to speak in a way that is easy for the listener to understand. We should let them know what the preciousness of Tao is. Let the people know the benefits of receiving this Tao. If they understand the benefits, then chances of them receiving is much higher. We can mention that we can transcend from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. We can let them know that through cultivation, one can diminish one's negative karmas with good karmas, with good deeds. We can let them know that by receiving the Tao, we can escape from calamities. So that when we are in a life-threatening situation, the Buddhas will protect us. We can let them know that 7 generations of ancestors and 9 generations of descendants will benefit from one's good deeds. And lastly, we can change our own destiny. Okay? If we are sincere in our cultivation, we can change our destiny. We can use our senior transmitter, Jin, as an example. Okay? He had gone to see 3 very famous fortune tellers when he was young, before the Tao. And each one of them told him that he would pass at the age of 57. Look at him today. He is 90 what? He's 93 years old. He's stronger than us. Okay, why? Because he cultivates, he devotes himself into Tao affairs. Total 100% devotion. Okay, so we can change our destiny. It's all up to each individual. Okay, you have to make the decision. Then we should let them know why it's important that we receive the Tao. Okay, we let them know by saying that when we receive the Tao, our enlightening Master Jigong Buddha will open our third eye spiritually. Okay, and through our own cultivation, we can transcend from the cycle of reincarnation. If one does not receive the Tao, even though they did many, many good deeds, they cannot reach absolute heaven. They can only go to temporal heaven. And as the term goes, temporal, it is only temporary. Eventually, they still have to reincarnate into this physical realm. Okay, so that is why it is very important that we receive the Tao. We should remove the doubts and worries from the hearts of people who want to receive Tao, so that they can receive Tao sincerely. We need to explain to the new people that Tao is the source of everything in this universe. Everything came from Tao. Explain to them that all the saints and Buddhas in heaven receive this same Tao, including Happy Buddha, Guanyin Bodhisattva, Jigong Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha, Jesus, and Mohammed. Okay, we need to let them know that who do we worship is God. No matter what religion we're in, there's only one God. Okay, so we worship God Almighty and all the saints and Buddhas. Heaven is full of many, many saints and Buddhas, not just one. Many, many, and that's who we worship. Okay. And we should also briefly let them know in advance what the ceremony consists of. 3 parts: fruit offering, okay, where we offer fruits that's cleaned to God and the Buddhas to show our sincerity in receiving this Tao. Number 2, invocation ceremony, where the transmitter who has heaven's mandate will invite God and all the saints and Buddhas to surround this temple for this ceremony. And thirdly, that one will be receiving the blessing, okay? And that is all there is to it. And of course, mention that after we finish the ceremony, we do have to spend maybe 15-20 minutes to listen to what we call the 3 treasure. This way, when they come in, there's no surprises, okay? There's no surprises. Otherwise, they will keep watching their watch. What time is it? I gotta go. So you prepare them how long it takes, what it entails, so they will not walk out and they will focus on whatever we say to them, okay? Now, the person that is speaking to the new people needs to reveal confidence and faith when speaking of the Tao. So when we explain Tao to others, we must speak with confidence so others can accept and believe in whatever we are telling them. If we speak in a way that sounds like we are unsure of ourselves, then how can we expect others to believe us? Right? So, as we have seen many times in the temple, right in the middle of the ceremony, some people say, I don't want it, and walk out. Why? Have we ever asked ourselves why? It is because we did not let them know in advance what this whole ceremony consists of. Okay. There is also a phrase with the 10 great vows at the end that if I do not follow these 10 great vows, I will be punished by heaven with thunder and lightning. A lot of times people hear it when the male takes the vow and the female will walk out the door. Why? Because they got scared of that one phrase. But the true meaning of that phrase is not really to be punished by heaven. It is our own conscience. So if we let them know in advance what that last phrase means, they will not be shocked when they hear it. It doesn't mean heaven's going to struck us with lightning and thunder and we're going to pass out. We're going to be electrocuted. It doesn't mean that. It means that we all have a conscience within each one of us. And when we promise God that we will do these 10 great vows and we do not follow it, then our own conscience will bother us. That's all. It is just like making a promise to a child. Okay, I'm going to take you to the park on Sunday, but we did not follow up with it. We couldn't do it. So our conscience bothered us, right? This is the same meaning. So we let them know in advance, okay, then they won't be shocked because we cannot take that phrase out of the ceremony. We are not qualified to do that because that whole ceremony was written down by our 18th patriarch, holy teacher. Okay? So if we have a deep understanding of the Tao, we can talk about the process of our learning, cultivation, and propagation of Tao. The Tao spirit needs to be manifested in the speaker's behavior and manners. After all, he or she needs to be modest. So in order to talk about the process of learning, cultivation, and propagation of Tao, okay, I would wait not from before they receive the blessing. I would wait until after they have been coming to class for a while, okay? Because if you tell them before they receive the blessing, they may say, "Oh, I'm not sure if I can devote so much time or effort," so they wouldn't receive the blessing. However, if we wait until they become more devoted by attending the classes, then we let them know it is very important we learn, we cultivate, okay, we propagate the Tao. And this way, they will be able to accept it, and they will be able to progress in that manner. Okay. The relationship between cultivation and people, the meaning of life. We should briefly explain the meaning of life to them. Some people say, oh, I don't want to receive any blessing. Wait till I'm retired, or I have no time for this. Oh, I'm already a good person. I don't need to receive this. Or I'm so old already. Why would I need this? This is what you're going to get the feedbacks from all the people that you try to bring in. Okay? So now it is time for us to let them know that life is uncontrollable. It's full of uncertainty, right? No one knows what will happen the next second or how long we can live. Despite all of this, there is one thing we surely can control, and that is the way we live our life. Okay? We can make the most of our life. We can choose to live a valuable and meaningful life. And that is what this Tao is all about. Okay? Our holy teacher assures us that we all have received the Tao, and that we are all like seeds that are ready to sprout. Okay? So when we receive the Tao, we are nothing but a tiny little seed. And the more we do, that seed will gradually sprout. Okay? And the seed will grow into big trees through cultivation and performing good deeds. And our wisdom will be inspired. Okay? Now, next is the points for attention. It is not proper to be biased or hold extreme views. In addition, do not indulge in loud and empty talk. What we say should be objective and according to Tao. As we know, a lot of people love to talk in circles, right? They don't hit the target. After talking for half an hour, we're looking at them. What are you saying? Right? A lot of people talk like that. So we make sure we don't talk like that. Okay? Because our main goal, our objective in talking to the person is so they can understand what the style is. Okay? So we keep talking for half an hour, they're going to lose interest. They're going to fall asleep. They're going to want to get out of here as soon as possible. Okay? So we must keep it short, and we must keep it simple and easy for the person to understand. So this way the listener will pay attention, and their mind will not wander and lose focus. Once they agree to receive the Tao, we should stop talking. It may only take 10 minutes for us to convince them. Once they agree to fill the registration form, stop talking. Okay? Because the more we talk, the more information they gather, they can turn around and say, I'm not interested. Got it? Once they agree to receive the Tao, stop talking. Okay, we can tell them later after the ceremony. So let them fill the registration form first. This form should be filled up half an hour before the ceremony, because it takes time to prepare that formal document, what we call the dragon document. Okay, so let them know, of course, that the name has to be the right name, the birth name, the name on their birth certificate. So if a woman is married, make sure we tell them to put down their birth name. The reason is, when their name is registered in the underworld, it is at time of birth. So if they change their name when they become adults to a name that they made up, or if they married and they use their husband's last name, then when that document is burned and the Buddha takes that document to the underworld, their name will not be erased from the Book of Death. Okay? So that name has to match. Yes, Joe? That is still better to use the birth name. Okay? Because if they should be the first name that they use. Because if they change their name, it's still not going to match to the birth name that is in the book.
Yeah, see, there is a potential conflict because, like, say, some people, especially just maybe not so much people born in the U.S., but let's say people born out overseas, and then they immigrate. See, and here's the problem. A lot of times the immigration of the Americans are kind of like, they're ignorant because they don't know the other cultures. So they say, oh, this name is too long or too hard to pronounce. So they shorten it. They shorten it and then they put it on their immigration, on the green card. And then when you get a passport, right, when you apply for it, you have to use that. You don't use your birth certificate, your original country name. See, so there's a potential. Because we always say, well, what's in your passport? See, that passport name could be changed. It may not be the original birth name of where that person immigrated from. You know what I'm trying to say? You know, and so that's
I personally did ask our transmitter Trey years ago when he was still alive. I said to him, if a person's name has been changed and they've been going by that name for decades, and they received the Tao with that name, do we have to change their name? No. He says to me, no, because heaven knows. Okay, that's what he said to me. Okay, so I guess it depends on the person, it depends on the situation.
I think the Buddhists, they do know. Because,
Heaven knows everything.
yeah, because my mom had a name change, and I don't believe she used her birth name when she received the Tao. When the Buddha channeled then, yeah, that's not her birth name. When the Buddha channeled in, the Buddha called her birth name.
Oh, you see?
No.
Yeah, so the Buddhas know. Okay.
That's right. No.
Yeah.
What are the nicknames?
So they
No, we don't use nicknames. We don't use nicknames. We use the either the document name, okay, or your birth name.
My second form and one
I did ask senior transmitter Trey 2 times to confirm, 2 separate times. So he did say, heaven knows. You don't need, because usually when somebody's name is wrong in the dragon document, we usually write another document to change the wrong name into the correct name. Okay, because this happened to my dad when he received the Tao. In the old days, they have a formal birth name. Then they have like a name that is given to them, like a whole, So I didn't know that because I'm not from the old ancient days. And then my dad received the Tao with the more like a nickname. And then my mom told me that his birth name is not that name. So I had to ask the transmitter to change his name. Okay? So in that case, his name was changed. I guess because it's a nickname. Okay? So when the Buddha's channel in, when we had that the reunion class. So the Buddha did announce my dad's name based on his birth name. Okay, so just to give you an example. Okay, yes, Virginia. Yeah, birth name, not the first name that I signed him up for. Yes, Virginia.
We actually have 3 ladies receiving the Tao today, and they became naturalized. And we go by passport names, and then the PPN. But they also have the Chinese name. So they're the same, but just one is Chinese, the other is PPN. So which one do we use? We put the
I think, if you're born in China, I would use the Chinese name. If you're born in the U.S., I would use
I'm
the...
not sure if they were born or it's just the passport as the
okay.
the phonetic.
Yeah, so I guess with the documents, the passport name is okay. Yeah. It is confusing. It is super confusing. But I always tell the people, put your name on the birth certificate, so there's no confusion.
My kids, in the passport they have English name, but when they receive the Tao, I put down Chinese.
What is the name?
Chinese, not
What is the name?
Were they born
You
here?
don't even know.
Karen, were they born here?
They all born here, and in their passport, they have names like Vivian. And then, they put their Chinese name in the, as a little initial, and then their last name. It's all English. But then when they receive now, I put down the Chinese name.
Well, you know, to make it funny, okay, this is going to sound funny to you. My son, Ryan, okay, in the old days, okay, we had 小姨点传师, who is Kai's uncle, okay. He said, put Ryan as Shi Ryan. I said, why? His English name is Shi Ryan Shu. And then he goes, no, put it as Shi Ryan. I didn't want to argue with him, so I just let it be. And now today Ryan goes, how come everybody either has an English name or a Chinese name? And I have to have half and half. Okay? So up to today, when he has to take a vow, he goes, Shi Ryan.
That's funny.
It is funny. Okay? And then I asked all the transmitters after that. I said, does he have to change his name? They go, no, Shi is actually Shu. It's the same thing. So I think he's the one and only that received the Tao under Shi Ryan. It's so weird.
You're talking about she in Chinese character, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's so funny, right? Okay, back to the outline. So if people already have their own religious belief, then we should not say anything negative about it. So always remember, all religions are good, no matter what religion it is. It all has the same principles. Okay, we should make positive comments first, and objectively analyze the difference between Tao and religion to them. So this way they understand why it is important to receive the Tao. When a Tao receiver has some special background or social position, the introducer and guarantor should advise the speaker in advance for proper preparation and preaching. Example is their religious background. Okay, this way the speaker can focus on what they believe in order to try to convince them to receive the Tao. When we are talking about the Tao, we do not put special emphasis on the word Tao, okay? Because people don't really know what the Tao is. So, however, everything we say should be in accordance with the Tao, with the truth and with the principle. So, I usually first explain to the people what this temple is. Okay, so I always say this is what we call heaven's Tao. Okay, and I say to them who we pray to and what it means by the word Tao. And then after that, I would ask them, do you want to receive this blessing? And most people that come in has no idea what the temple is. So they all would want to be briefed as to what the Tao is and what kind of a temple we are, who we worship, who we bow to. Okay, these things are very critical for the person to receive the blessing. Our attitude should be calm and agreeable instead of being admonitory or too self-confident when we are in the right. So we must manifest the Tao in us, in our speech, in our conduct, and in our appearance. If they are happy with what we represent, then we don't have to say too much, and they would agree to receive it. There are techniques. We can invite people to the temple for them to have a deeper understanding by visiting the temple and getting to know the people. The atmosphere and all the visible things in the temple should be solemn. Okay, it is important that the environment is clean. Gentlemen, ladies are separated. Harmony prevails, and everybody is friendly. So this way, it will give them a better idea of what our temple is about. Okay. prepare more data and materials to help us in making people understand Tao. We have quotes from scriptures. Okay, we have many scriptures from the Dharma class as evidence that Tao is not a general religion. We have quotes from the words of ancient sages and saints written in scriptures that talks about Tao. Okay, we carry out the following things in daily life: show concern and understanding for the people that we want to invite. So that is the best way to influence them. Everybody has problems. If we know what the people's problem is, we can show our concern and care and kindness to them. Okay? Then we manifest Tao by setting a good example with our own conduct. Having Tao in us is the best way to influence others. We help people to understand Tao by means of activities held by the Tao Society. We have classes here on Sundays. We have the 1st and 15th of the lunar calendar lunch activities, seasonal picnics, Thanksgiving and Christmas and Lunar New Year celebrations. Notify them to attend these special affairs to learn more about the Tao. After people receive Tao, we should record how we help people understand more about Tao and report to our Tao seniors. So this way they know that we haven't forgotten about these people. Okay? Record the new Tao friend's reactions so that we can do more to help him or her understand Tao. Okay? And this way it will also help others to also bring new people in. As an introducer and guarantor, it is our responsibility not only to bring them in to receive Tao only, but it is just as important for us to guide them, okay? To come to class, to learn, to cultivate themselves, okay? To help in Tao affairs and to propagate the Tao. So one day they will reach enlightenment. We first establish ourselves and also to help others to establish themselves. We must always follow up on them from beginning to end, not only the day they receive the Tao, from beginning to the very end until they reach enlightenment. Okay, this is what an introducer and guarantor does. It's endless. We must follow up with each of the person that we bring in. We constantly have to show our loving kindness to them, to let them know we care, we love them, we haven't forgotten about them. So whenever they have problems, we should always be there to help them. Okay? If they do not come back, it is the introducer and guarantor's responsibility to find out why and to motivate them to come back. If one day they really stop coming, then their ancestors will hold us responsible for them for not cultivating. Okay? So we are responsible for all the people that we bring into the temple. Therefore, to be a good introducer and guarantor, we must guide all the people we brought in from beginning until they reach enlightenment, just like our holy teacher is guiding us. No difference. Okay? Any questions? Yes, Paul.
Yeah, could you receive the Tao in English?
Yes.
Okay.
We do, no, not the ceremony. The ceremony is in Chinese.
But
Okay.
it would help if it was in English and then more people would understand.
Yeah, that's why we should brief the newcomer as to what the ceremony is all about. So this way they don't feel like, oh, what is happening? Okay. I always let them know. It's 3 parts. The food offering ceremony to show our sincerity in receiving this Tao. Then the transmitter who has heaven's mandate will conduct the invocation ceremony where they will invite God and all the saints and Buddhas to surround this whole temple before one can receive the Tao. Okay. And lastly, the third part is for the new person to receive the opening of the third eye. So this way, they have no surprises. Okay, that's why it's the introducer and the guarantor's job to do all that. Okay, it sounds difficult, But once you start doing it, okay, it's so natural. It becomes so natural. Okay? Yes, Johnny.
So one thing is that when we bring someone to the temple, we should actually try to stick with that person
Yes.
all the time, not just bringing them and say, well,
And
they're here,
abandoning them.
leave them. We should, even at the end, we should go and let them have a seat, and we should get the food when it's lunchtime and serve them. So this way, that person understands the appreciation and so forth. Instead of just leaving that person to fend for themselves, that is very discouraging. So we have to sort of pay attention to that aspect of the introduction.
Okay? So I guess we're having a down receiving ceremony. So I thank everyone for their attention. If I say anything wrong, I ask God and all the saints and Buddhas for their forgiveness.